So I basically, for my project, I did a big study on like music in different countries and whatnot. So I found a piece of music that like by a flute player in Peru, and I found it online, and I emailed him and got his permission, and so I listened to the music and I got it, and I'm playing it. But I'm gonna play you the piece that he played first, so that you can hear how awesome he is, and then you can hear me. So.
Are you gonna play that whole song?
Yes, but I'm not like a professional flute player, so I had to like revise it a little bit because that was a really hard piece. And so like I listened to it and I got the notes, and I'm going to play what I have. So it's like a little bit revised.
Is this the one where you emailed him and got permission to play it?
Yes.
No, you had to come up with the notes on your own. You didn't actually have sheets.
I mean, he emailed it to me, but I couldn't really read it because it wasn't like high quality.
Yeah.
And so I had to like listen to it a lot and like get the music and stuff. So it's not going to be exact, but it's close. a brochure on like music in Mexico and also Peru because the composer of this piece was from Peru, and so I thought it would be cool to do Peru. And I think it's on Google Plus right now. So
Actually, I put it in, if you go to your, log into your school Gmail, your school Google address, and go to Drive, it's got it on, if you click on the Spanish handouts folder.
that's where it is.
Yes, it's in the Spanish handouts folder.
I'm also going to put it on the screen, so if you...
And while you're there, you can also download Harry and Marley's, because that's gonna, I think they're probably gonna go next. Yeah, you can do it on your phone or on your
How do you log into the school phone on your phone?
You have to download Google Drive to your phone. What?
Can you only turn up like...
Yeah.
Don't touch my flute, please.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
What is it like, Perry?
It's like that. Is your back?
Okay.
You can do something. This is that really purple.
And so I kind of like looked up like different types of instruments and like different types of music that Mexico plays, and this is all in Spanish. So if you know how to read Spanish, which you should, it's pretty simple Spanish. But like I learned that a lot of the music in Mexico is like more like uplifting and more like bright and vibrant, and it comes from like it's based off of like love and passion and like the love of the country and like legends. They do a lot of stuff with like different legends that they have there. Like if you remember, I think earlier this semester or last semester we read like the book of the mountain or something and like the gods, and so it's like based off of some of that stuff. And I also kind of learned that they use it a lot for like festivals and like parties. So they play like a ton of music to like bring the whole community together, and they play it actually. I found something about Day of the Dead, which is what Melanie did, and they play like a lot of music there. And they also dance, and they obviously have the skull heads, so I wrote about that. And also they do the Mexican hat dance, which I think a lot of us know. They dance with hats and stuff. Yeah, and basically music in Mexico is used to like lift up people and to bring the like communities together for like festivities or like happy events mainly. There are some sad events, but mainly happy events. And I also wrote about like just like random facts like composers and stuff. So like there's 3 types in Mexico. There's traditional, classical, and popular. And popular is more of like the modern stuff that's being written now. That's like what I played. And like traditional was written right before the modern. It's like in the 19th century. And classical was written like before the 19th century, like a long time ago. And it's really pretty, and so I just kind of wrote about some of that. And then in Peru, it's used more with flutes, and like this is actually a lute. It's different, and like they use that to like either play happiness songs or like sad songs. In Peru, it's used mainly just for like concerts. Like they play it more instead of like they still play it at festivals and stuff, but they don't play it like as much. Like it can be used like more versatile, and they have a lot more concerts going on in Peru. And so like if you ever visit Peru, you can go and see a ton of different concerts because they have a lot of that. And like a lot of the dances they do are based off of the instruments, like the sikuri, I think is how you pronounce it. It's a dance, and like it's based off of the instrument the siku. I don't know if that's like how you pronounce it, but it's like just like it looks like a lute, but it's like more curved, and it's like based off of that instrument, and like they dance to that instrument only, and it was really interesting. And then in Peru, they just like they didn't really have different eras of music. They just kind of had like a lot of different music, so I couldn't really find any place that had any different types. So I guess they just have a ton of different types. So I have some composers, and like their most popular instrument made in Peru is the charngo, which is actually I think that's how you pronounce it. It's actually a small guitar. It's a small wooden guitar, and it's very, like, you see it a lot of places in Peru, and I think, like, you can also find it a lot of other places, and it's also based off of folk music, if you know what folk music is. A lot of Peruvians listen to folk music. That's where the base of their music comes from. And so in Peru, it brings the community together, just not as like significant as Mexico. It doesn't play as big of a role, but that is it.
Awesome. Nice done. All right, if you would go ahead and go to goo.gl